Hello world, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Advanced Wars by Web Grand Strategy Cast. Today's episode will be covering my turn on day 45 for my Asia Grand Strategy campaign. Now, with Cobalt Ice removed from the equation, things are going even faster and my turns are coming even sooner, which makes it a little bit difficult to keep up actually. So I'm scampering to keep on top of that. So let us get on with our turn. But first, a Wars World News update covering everything that's happened since our last turn. So as we can see here, this is exactly how our lines were at the end of my turn on 44. And you can see, with Cobalt Ice having dropped from the game, I am now the last player in the turn order. Blue Moon is, of course, the first in the turn order of the players that remain. So now I am the last person in the turn. And beginning at the very next day, day 45, this is, of course, going to be Blue Moon's turn. You can see he moves his ship out here. He's developing his fleet a little bit, targeting down that infantry Red has on the factory, and he's moving his battleships just a little further into position. Now you can see here, he's done this because these battleships can now get coverage on these three units, this line of ships, and Red is simply not able to hit back. Now what I feel Red should have done was actually keep a battleship here and actually move a battleship into this port here. Then he'd have two battleships in two 3-star ports that he could really use to keep these ships at bay. And you see now he hasn't done that, and Blue's able to get his ships just that little bit closer. Having those ships in port would also not only give them a defensive bonus, but they would also repair back up 2 hit points per turn, which would make these two battleships, perhaps even a third one if he had a third one here, and he could have 2 black boats backing it up and repairing it 2 hit points per turn as well. A line of 2 or 3 battleships in a defensive position like this would really be holding Blue at bay, but instead he's gone for something different and he's prioritized transporting infantry across, which I understand, but it is going to give Blue Moon the edge and the ability to creep up on him. So continuing on with Blue Moon's turns, you can see he's messing around with his infantry. He's fooling around a little bit here, trying to get some troops together. But you can see he's been lacking on keeping his troops up to date and supplied. You can see some of them are even down to 4 hit points. So he could combine some of them together, I suppose, 2 4 hit point units. But even then, he'd only be creating a new 8 hit point unit. He wouldn't even be creating a full 10 hit point unit. Finishing up Blue's turn, and that's going to take us to Red, and finally the typhoon is over and the rain is gone. The sun has come out again, thank you very much. And you can see Red is, of course, continuing to develop along the mainland and the peninsula that he's captured. So he's beginning to capture territory there. He's also going up in the north, and he's got 2 battleships backing him up on the mainland in the north, and also he's dragged a battleship south to engage with me along his little island chain. So we'll have to have a little battleship duel with him. And, of course, that is going to take us to my turn on day 45. So we've got a lot of options as to what to do next. And I think, of course, my number 1 priority is going to be grabbing as much of Cobalt's territory as I possibly can. We already had a false start on this once before when I thought Cobalt was going to be eliminated from the game. And now it's the real deal. So now it's time for me to be putting my best foot forward and trying to grab as many of these properties as I can. Starting off with this one sector that I really wish I had captured long ago, and now it will finally be mine. This will make for an excellent property to anchor between my kind of middle section here, this mountain region over here, this territory here with the comms tower, and really just kind of the gateway to the rest of the map from there. So in terms of expanding, I think my best bet is to move that way and capture there. Unfortunately, I have a 10 hit point mech inside of this APC, so they did their job of protecting him from the typhoon, and now I'll have a 2-turn capture on this factory, which will be very nice. And let's continue to expand a bit. This tank can move up there. You can move there, you can capture there. Get this APC this way. Now with Cobalt gone, I really don't need this rocket here, so let's get it a little bit further out. There we go. Let's get these tanks a little bit further out. Let's start going north with these guys, why not? Wait back there. This rocket can, of course, go back into position there. And let me get another 2 hit points of healing on that guy. Put this Neo tank to here for now. And develop this Neo tank eastward. So let's get this tank out here and get this infantry going. Let's send this guy up north as well. You can get your repairs there, you fill in there, and there, you fill in there. Now, I did try to keep the peace with Blue Moon, but he kind of pointed out to me that I have enough of advantage over him that he really is not okay with maintaining the status quo, and he's actually going to nullify any of our agreements starting on day 47. Now, with today being day 45, I don't necessarily know what he means by that, but I need to be prepared for it. So I think I've got one more turn to get my lines up to strength, which is, I think, exactly what I'm going to be able to do this turn. But starting turn 47, or maybe even tomorrow on turn 46, we will see Blue Moon's true colors, and we will see exactly what he chooses to do next. I told him I think he should focus on expanding eastward, and that's his best bet, rather than trying to pick a fight with me, but well, if Blue Moon and Red Fire actually wanted to finally team up together against me, they might just be able to put up a serious fight. So we'll see exactly what they want to do and what they choose to do next. Here, in the middle here, I think what I will do is I will focus on getting my infantry back up to 10. Like so. And then as soon as I'm able to get these units back into position next turn, pretty much my whole line will be back up to 10 health, while Blue Moon's is still at 8 and 6 and even 4. Here with my mechs, you can see exactly what I was going for here. Unfortunately, I had this infrastructure, I had these supply lines set up ahead of time. I even had the mechs waiting on the properties for the typhoon to come. And as soon as it hit, they're able to spring forward, just like this. And I'll just continue to get my infantry developed here, like so. And I will just keep making infantry on this factory. Here, with Red Fire already establishing a bit of a foothold down here, what I will do is I'll move this infantry this way. It's only a 5 health infantry, so it's going to take it 4 turns to capture if I'm able to pull that off. So let's throw them on this factory and try to capture this factory as soon as possible. And establish this area here sort of as the border between what I'm going to claim to be my territory and what I don't really care happens, and I'll leave to the other 2 guys to fight over. Down in this very southeast corner here, I am finally going to capture this property. So over here, I think I will actually send this black boat out here, prepare this cruiser back to 10, and then I will just launch this cruiser forward, potentially, let's say, as bait for this battleship. I'll also have these black boats repair and refuel each other, so no concern there. Now they're both back up to 60. Battleship can fire here and hopefully take him out next turn. Hopefully that'll free up the island for capture soon enough, although there is this battleship up here that I do need to contend with. Here, I think I will extend my cruiser out to here, and that's a good waiting spot for it to essentially stand off with Blue's fleet over there. And of course, this will allow me to move my sub back into its pen for a little bit of refueling and, of course, 2 hit points of repair. And of course, it's submerged, so no one can even see there's a thing there, which is wonderful. I'll leave my battleship here now. We'll actually move here and unload my rocket for no real reason other than mind games on Blue. He doesn't know what I'm doing here, although theoretically I could move this piece either into this forest here or this forest here, should I need to react to something. Of course, we will move this infantry forward, and of course, let's get this rocket back into position here. Of course, this tank can actually fill in this gap here, and we can move this medium tank up 1 square, and while there's nothing going on, we can actually even have this APC get some repairs in on this city. And I think more infantry is always warranted in the south down here, and I think in the middle here we have a good chance to cycle a few repairs on this infantry as well. This might be my last turn that I actually have a chance to do this in peace. There, and we'll cycle you like that, you wait there, you wait there, you wait there, and you even fill in that gap like so. So I think here I'll pull this battleship back, and I will move this black boat onto this port to protect it from getting covered up by Blue Moon or something if you wanted to play a nasty trick on me like that. I think this battleship here will engage this infantry. This is formerly Cobalt's HQ. now turned city, now that Cobalt has dropped. And I think it's pretty safe for me to throw some fire on the peninsula from here with my battleship. So here on this middle port, I do think I will pull this black boat over here, repair this infantry up, and I know I've been playing some mind games with this one single sub all game, trying to get everyone to think that I've built a bunch of subs in this area. But I think I actually will back that up this turn by actually building a sub. Now I'll have 2 in this bay area, and I can really use that to hold on in case Blue decides to try anything on me here. I think right here I can build myself 1 more Neo tank, and that will help me in this assault on the north up here. That's going to put me at 97 population cap and about 56,000 left in reserves. So I think I'll hold off there. These rockets I'll actually move this way, deploy like that. There we go. So I think that's going to do it for me on day 45, and with that I shall end my turn. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Grand Strategy Cast. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you like this sort of thing, then consider subscribing so you can see a little bit more of us, a little bit more just like this. And if you enjoyed this sort of thing, then check out these other videos that I've made, including a bunch of Advanced Wars stuff that you might just enjoy. Alrighty, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.